We've got a new report tonight that takes aim at efforts by lawmakers to eliminate property taxes in Florida. There's a study that the League of Cities says ended property taxes that would be bad news for the working class and would also greatly harm smaller counties. But Florida's chief financial officer criticized the report today, saying that the cities behind it just want to protect their bloated budgets. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank in the newsroom tonight to explain more on this one, Evan.
Yeah, Allie, the main part of the criticism is that there aren't enough equitable ways to make up for the loss of funding without seeing critical services and infrastructure dwindle to the point where the very fabric of certain communities would be in trouble. The state CFO said today the report itself is an example of wasteful spending and that there's plenty of room to cut to make relief worth it.
The Florida League of Cities report is in blue, but the warnings are in black and white. There are uneven benefits across homeowners, renters, and communities.
It's less of a tax break and more of a tax shift.
The report says whether the state fully eliminates property taxes, exempts some from relief based on things like age, or gives percentage-based discounts, the wealthy will get wealthier. Renters and new buyers won't get any benefit, and wealthier areas will absorb the changes in funding, while rural areas will face sharper trade-offs.
And so when you eliminate property tax as a source of revenue, you become heavily reliant on things like fees and fines. So that would make a lot of public amenities no longer public.
The study's 4 conclusions focus heavily on the impact to rural communities, saying the loss of a central revenue source risks weakening rural revitalization strategies. The governor has promised to backfill some of that money with $300 million in his new budget. The CFO, who is pushing for major reform along with the governor, insists rural counties that have fewer income streams will be kept fiscally whole.
But the reason why this is all laughable is they're talking about and asking the question, how are you going to replace the revenue that we already have? They're not even contemplating the fact that they have large bloated budgets.
Further, he insists that the League of Cities study, which also warns of impact to bond ratings and public safety funding, is a plant because local governments, the one whose budgets are most threatened by a drop in property taxes, effectively funded the study itself.
And they're going to do everything that they can to protect themselves and protect the funding.
Right now, the legislature is debating several proposals that could be on the ballot in November of 2026 for the voters themselves to weigh in on. Some would ban property taxes altogether, some would phase them out, and others would base them on factors like age. It is not clear which, if any, will win the support of most in the legislature. Previous studies have said the state part of the sales tax would have to be doubled in order to keep services the same without property taxes, which makes up more than 2/5 of local revenues. Allie.
All right, we shall see. Evan, thank you.